The future is autonomous. I always sort of think, like, what will the future look like in 5 years or 10 years, 20 years? And 5 years from now, autonomous cars are going to be everywhere, primarily going to be Teslas, by the way. But autonomous Teslas will be everywhere. And I think in 5 years, probably we'll have regulatory approval, I think, globally. So you'll have autonomous Teslas on every continent, taking people on trips, and almost the entire fleet, which will pass 10 million vehicles next year, is capable of full autonomy. So even without the cybercab, we still actually have a gigantic fleet that is capable of being autonomous. And the thing about being an autonomous car is that it can be used much more than a car that is not autonomous. A typical passenger vehicle car will be used about 10 hours a week. So people might use it for an hour and a half a day on average for 7 days, which is about 10 hours a week. But there are 168 hours in a week. So if you have a car that's a robot car that can drive autonomously, it can now be used potentially for 80, maybe 100 hours a week. So you could have a car that has 10 times the usefulness of a non-autonomous car, but it still costs the same. In fact, the fleets are already built. So the software update just enables that capability. Overnight, you have an increase in usefulness of 10 million cars that suddenly become like 50 million cars or maybe 80 or 100 million cars of usefulness overnight. That's a profound thing. Like, nothing like that has ever happened before. There is no analogy that there's never been something where a software update increased the value of a gigantic asset base by a factor of like 500 to 1,000%. So it's very difficult for people in the stock market, especially those that look in the rearview mirror, which is most people, to imagine a future where suddenly a 10 million vehicle fleet has 5 to 10 times the usefulness. It's so profound, and there's no comparison with anything in the past that it does not compute. But it will compute in the future. And some people like Kathy Wood at ARK Invest do see the future. So what I'm saying is hang on to your stock. Well, Optimus sure has come a long way. So the new Optimus 22 degree of freedom hand and forearm is now in production. And it's learning to walk and catch balls. It's pretty cool. I mean, look, that's where we came from. It's wild. So in a very short period of time, Optimus has gone from being an idea to the most sophisticated humanoid robot on Earth. There's nothing even close to the level of sophistication of Optimus. And Tesla has some important missing ingredients that others don't have, which is our robot has a real brain. It's like the Wizard of Oz, Tin Man. Well, was that a heart or a brain? One of the two. It's got the real world AI. So Tesla's the leader in real world AI. What we learned in the car, we translate to the Optimus robot. And we also take our expertise in electric motors, in batteries, power electronics, structural design. And then another major important thing is that we're very good at manufacturing. So in order for robots to be useful, they have to be intelligent. They have to be able to do useful things just by asking, and you have to be able to make a large number of them at an affordable price. This is what we can do. We have the only company with all the ingredients for making intelligent humanoid robots at scale is Tesla. This is a super big deal. Like my prediction is that on this front is that Optimus will be the biggest product of all time by far. Nothing will even be close. I think it'll be 10 times bigger than the next biggest product ever made.
I also have 2 little girls who spend their weekends cruising around in their very awesome Cybertruck.
Cool.
I'd love to know when we can add Optimus to the family.
Oh yeah, it's a good question. So this year we hopefully will be able to make about 5,000 Optimus robots. We're aiming for enough parts to make 10,000, maybe 12,000. But since it's a totally new product with totally new, like everything is totally new, I'll say like we're succeeding if we get to half of the 10,000. Now, but even 5,000 robots, that's the size of a Roman legion, FYI, which is like a little scary thought, like a whole legion of robots. I'd be like, whoa, okay. But I think we'll literally build a legion, at least one legion of robots this year. And then probably 10 legions next year. And I don't know, it's kind of a cool unit, units of legion. So probably 50,000-ish next year. And then it's probably I'm hopefully ready for Optimus to be used outside of Tesla-controlled environment, or maybe around the middle of next year, second half of next year sometime. So I think sounds about right. Probably second half of next year is when they'll be available. And then we will offer Optimus robots first to Tesla employees. So you guys get the priority. There are some pluses and minuses to that, because it's probably have a few bugs, but it's going to be very cool. You'll want to invite your friends over and say, check this out.
大家好，我是 JG， 你们有看过这个影片吗？还没，对不对？好像市场上不太关心特斯拉，但我要跟大家讲哦，这是伊隆马斯克回归公司以后的第一次演讲。其实我们都觉得他好像已经不是特斯拉的 CEO 了，他好像是政府效率部门，他好像是川普的好朋友。可是他终于回来了，所以第一次演说挺重要的。同时，第一次演说呢，它也是内部的一个公司的谈话。公司内部谈话呢，其实不太能作假，因为他说了员工会听到嘛。那这一次的会议呢，有几个重点，其中关于上一次我们讨论它会不会完蛋的基线部分呢，他给出了一个很明确的说法。他今年的这个 Optimus 机器人呢，今年会产5000台，但是全部是内部员工用。意思是什么？感觉还不能变营收啦，这你要知道一件事。但是他非常有把握，产5000台，那明年他可能就会产1万台，甚至2万台。这是他说的事情。那这个东西呢，我不知道大家怎么看。特斯拉的股价现在是220左右，你觉得现在可以买吗？你觉得要怎么去判断特斯拉能不能买呢？我这边除了去机器人的问题之外呢，我再提供另外一个想法。NVIDIA、Tesla， 它曾经都是，包含苹果，都是因为信仰而无限上涨的强力公司。他们的共通点都是有一个非常强有力说服的领导人。但马斯克是异类。他是所有领导人里面正反风评最极端、最反复，而且变化性最大的。所以从反市场的角度来讲，我反而把它变成这个坏事有没有可能变好事？有没有可能你觉得现在超多Elon的 hater 在美国，在 Reddit 的论坛，在特斯拉的展销中心直接被烧毁，在川普大楼被抗议，因为他跟川普靠在一起，川普等于马斯克，马斯克等于川普。那这是一个很不好的标签，所以很可怕。所以特斯拉的股价的下跌，某种程度上来讲是这个原因哦。我觉得群众是很不理性的。那我要跟大家讲，大家别忘了，这个川普在2018年也做过一样的事情。2018年跟大家对打嘛，2019年跟大家握手嘛，所以其实1年后这个情绪突然就不见了。所以我们要关心的是，特斯拉是不是有办法在1年后消除这个情绪，还是你觉得川普会越打越凶，越打越凶，越打越凶，然后让这个伊隆马斯克的无情的这个本性呢展露出来？我记得2017年有人说过，他是嗑药、无能、自大，甚至有人把他比喻成萨诺斯。什么意思？ 很多人觉得那个伊隆是无情的，他为了效率，他如果人类要死一半，他为了永续生存，他是会去弹这个手指的，所以他的仇恨值本来就很高。但是这是坏事变好事的契机，我觉得是。既然坏事有可能变好事，那我其实觉得现在这个情况，我们应该更专心在回到机器人的研发上，甚至你也可以去想，机器人不管是比亚迪、优必选还是特斯拉，不管谁赢，能源会成为未来的兵家必争之地。所以我们的会员频道呢，不仅在讨论机器人，也会关心能源。像我后面提到的这些公司，有的是锂电池，有的是机器人的解决方案，有的是这个未来大脑加入特斯拉以后的协力厂商。雨后春笋，我们上次提到2个月内会有激烈的变化。我看了特斯拉这次演说，我认为确实会发生，因为它马上就要5000台内部使用。电池问题一定会成为兵家必争之地。那如果你想了解相关的主题，我们这期的会员频道呢，刚好是机器人相关的主题 ，AI 医疗现在是机器人，那这都是非常重要的未来趋势。如果你想加入会员频道，你可以点击下方的连结。我是JG。